You have been told your whole life to be healthier. Eat cleaner, get lean, stay hydrated, be open and honest, be nice, avoid salt, fat, and anything bad. Some of that advice is useful in a comfortable, stable world. The problem is simple. Most modern health advice is designed for office life, not for carrying your life on your back through a crisis. If you optimize yourself for a climate-controlled, always stocked, low-effort world, you can end up fragile exactly when you need to be toughest. Today, we are going to look at 6 habits that are praised as healthy in normal times, but quietly wreck your chances under real survival stress. You do not have to abandon them completely. You do need to understand how far to take them and how to adjust so they make you more resilient, not less. Habit 1. Chasing ultra-lean at any cost. Every magazine cover and fitness ad pushes the same image. Low body fat, visible abs, sharp cheekbones. In a world where food is everywhere, being lighter and leaner can reduce disease risk. That is real, but there is a tipping point where chasing leanness becomes a survival liability. When a serious crisis hits, food is no longer guaranteed. Grocery shelves empty, deliveries stop, calories become unpredictable. In that environment, a small amount of stored body fat is not a problem to be advertised away. It is a buffer. Your body runs on energy. If you have driven your reserves down to the point that missing a meal leaves you shaky and unable to think, you have trained yourself to be dependent on constant intake. Under stress, sleep-deprived, cold, and moving, you will need more energy, not less. If your health routine is extreme dieting, constant cutting phases, and fear of any weight gain, understand what that means in a crash. You have no margin. The fix: do not aim to be as lean as a stage competitor unless that is your profession and you understand the risks. Aim to be functionally fit, with enough muscle to work and enough reserve that 2 or 3 days of lower calories do not put you on the floor. You do not need to be overweight to survive. But being razor-edge lean with no backup is not the advantage you think it is when famine shows up. Habit 2. Training for appearance, not function. Leg day, chest day, endless curls in front of a mirror, machines that isolate tiny muscles you cannot even name. In normal life, building muscle in any way is better than doing nothing. But if your entire fitness plan is based on fixed-path machines, controlled indoor conditions, never moving your own body weight through space except on a treadmill, you are missing the whole point of survival fitness. In a crisis, you will not be doing cable flies, adjusting the seat on a leg press, flexing under perfect lighting. You will be carrying loads, climbing over debris, lifting awkward objects, helping other people up, walking miles with weight. If you have big mirror muscles that tire easily when you have to carry gear, your training did not prepare you. It betrayed you. The fix: keep some gym work if you like it, but add real-world movements. Carry heavy things for distance. Do squats, deadlifts, and presses with free weights if your body can handle it. Climb stairs with a pack. Practice getting up and down from the ground quickly. Do pull-ups, push-ups, lunges. Train in less than perfect conditions sometimes. Heat, cold, uneven ground. You want a body that can work all day, not just pose in good lighting. Habit 3. Treating water like it is infinite. Drink 8 glasses a day. Hydrate constantly. Carry a water bottle and sip all day long. In a world where clean water comes out of the tap every time you turn it, overhydration is a small concern. In a world where every liter is work, the idea of sipping every few minutes because you are bored is dangerous. In a crisis, you may have limited stored water, limited fuel to boil and purify, limited access to clean sources. If you continue acting like water is an infinite resource, you will drain your reserves fast. That does not mean you should dehydrate yourself. Dehydration kills you quickly. It means you must learn to calibrate your intake to your conditions. Drink to prevent true thirst and maintain performance, not to meet a random number from an article. Pay attention to urine color, headache, dizziness, cramps. These are more valuable signals than habit. The fix: practice periods of disciplined water use in mild conditions. Set a known, safe baseline amount per day and see how your body feels at different activity levels. Learn to drink enough when you can, such as at reliable sources, and be more conservative when you are living on stored or hard-won water. Hydration is vital. Treating water like a fashion accessory is not. Habit 4. Fear of salt, fat, and sugar in all forms. Every day you see headlines: cut salt, cut fat, avoid sugar. For people overeating processed food, that advice helps reduce chronic disease. In a survival context, that advice taken blindly will hurt you. Salt is not an enemy. It is an electrolyte your nerves and muscles need to function. If you are sweating heavily, working hard, or experiencing diarrhea from bad water or food, your body loses salt fast. Replacing it can be the difference between staying on your feet and cramping, fainting, or worse. Fat is not just clogged arteries. It is dense energy, 9 calories per gram. In a situation where every bit of fuel matters, cooking fats and oils are some of the most efficient ways to get calories in small volume. Sugar in isolation is not a complete food. But simple carbohydrates are useful when you need quick energy for a short burst of effort. The fix: in normal life, keep processed junk under control, but do not train yourself to be afraid of salt, fat, and sugar as if they are poison at any dose. Stock salt deliberately. Stock cooking oils. Stock some simple carb sources like sugar, honey, or candy for fast energy. Learn to use these as tools when you are under heavy physical stress, not as constant snacks when you are sitting still. Habit 5. Oversharing in the name of authenticity. Modern culture loves the idea of being an open book. Share your journey, post your progress, tell your friends everything, be vulnerable about your struggles. In normal social life, being more open can build connection and reduce shame. In a survival situation, telling everyone exactly what you have, where you keep it, and how you plan to use it is not vulnerability. It is an inventory list. Every time you tell your coworkers, "Yeah, I have like 6 months of food and a ton of supplies," you are writing your address on the back of that statement. People remember. They may never act on it in the comfortable world. In a desperate world, those memories become coordinates. The fix: keep your emotional honesty. You do not need to become a stone, but draw a hard line between what you share about your inner life and what you reveal about your resources and plans. Talk about stress, fear, and hopes if you need to. Do not casually talk about how many guns you own, how much food you have, how much cash is in your safe, where your gear is stored. Authenticity about your feelings does not require transparency about your stockpile. Habit 6. Always saying yes in the name of being good. You have been trained to be agreeable. Say yes, help anyone who asks, do not be selfish. Keep everyone happy. In everyday life, being kind and helpful is good. But if you take that programming into a tight survival situation, where resources are finite and risk is real, you will empty yourself out for people who may not even remember your name later. Under stress, people will ask more and more. Can you spare some food? Can we stay at your house? Can you watch our kids while we go look for supplies? Can we borrow your tools? If you cannot say no, if you think every boundary makes you a bad person, you will eventually be forced to choose between your responsibility to the people you are truly accountable for and your desire to be seen as good by everyone else. The fix: practice saying no now in small ways. No to unnecessary favors that drain you. No to overcommitting your time. No to sharing beyond your comfort. Build a mental model where your first duty is to your immediate circle. Your second is to people who have demonstrated responsibility. Your third, if and only if you can afford it, is to others. You can still be kind. You just have to stop believing that being good means never refusing a request. The pattern: health for comfort versus health for hardship. Look back at these 6 habits. Ultra leanness. Mirror-based fitness only. Constant casual hydration. Fear of salt, fat, and sugar in any amount. Oversharing about resources. Always saying yes. They are all rewards in a world where food is everywhere, water is cheap, climate control is guaranteed, and saying no rarely has life or death stakes. In a world where food is scarce, water is hard to purify, work is physical, security is fragile. These same habits become liabilities. Real survival health is not about how you look in a mirror. It is about strength under load, endurance over distance, reserves for lean times, electrolyte balance, information control, boundaries. What you should do now: you do not need to flip your life upside down. You do need to adjust your targets. If you are chasing abs at the cost of all reserves, back off a step. Aim for strength and stamina, not just sharp lines. If your training is all cables and machines, add movements that look like real work. If you sip water out of boredom, start paying attention to your body's genuine thirst signals and practice conservative use when you can. If you flinch at salt, fat, or sugar in any quantity, remember they are tools in a crisis, not just villains. If you talk about your preps like a hobby, shut that door. Keep your plans and supplies to a tight circle. If you cannot say no, start with something small today, so that if you ever have to say no to a serious, desperate request to protect your own family, the word is not new in your mouth. The habits you build now are the ones that will show up under maximum stress. Make sure they are built for the world you might have to survive in, not only for the one you are scrolling through right now.